Here we go. Okay, here we are live. Welp, here we are live on YouTube, Ryan. This is kind of exciting. If you're new to our channel, this is like a new thing that we've been doing lately, where we do live reactions to albums. We really enjoy it. We've been really enjoying it, and one of the things I want to say about our channel, if you're new to who we are, we play the songs all the way through. We give our honest reactions. We don't BS or make stuff up or pretend that we like it or anything. We say what we think, and but we always give it a good shake. Yeah. What do we got for us here?
This is Jethro Tull. I don't know why this guy makes me laugh. I don't understand this guy. Okay, so we've done a couple of Jethro Tull songs, haven't we?
We did a Christmas one. Yeah.
Is that it for our channel?
I think so. I think it's, well, maybe we did another one. I don't know.
Well, I've done a couple of his on my other channel. Check it out, Ryan Reacts. It's in our About page. You can click on there. I've done a couple of his songs. So I'm not wholly unaware of him as a personality on stage. And in fact, the live performances I saw or people had me react to were fun. He's fun. He's fun on stage. He plays the flute. He's kind of like that bluesy or folksy rock or whatever. And people, if you're coming to our channel to see us talk about Thick as a Brick regarding its history, its recording, its place in the ethos, just go to Wikipedia. Just go to Wikipedia. You know, like, honestly, like, because I'm going to do a general what I gleaned from Wikipedia, just because I wanted some sort of background, and more for Nathan as well. So when we listen to this, he's not, I wouldn't say confused, it's not the right word, but kind of like what their intention was when they wrote this album. Okay. So Jethro Tull is the band, not a person. Ian Anderson is he's the leader, he's the flute player. He's kind of the ringleader of the band, but as a band, they'll collaborate with the music, what have you. But Ian Anderson wrote the lyrics for both part 1 and part 2. Okay. So I've heard of this album. In fact, when I did some of the reactions on my other channel, people are saying you got to do Thick as a Brick, Thick as a Brick. And I thought it was just a song. Well, I guess it is a song, but it's a 45-minute song. And so this is a legitimate concept album, okay? Now, Jethro Tull as a band, they were not accused, but they were labeled as a prog band back in the day. And Ian Anderson is like, no, we're not. We're not a prog band. Or a concept album band, I should say, more particular. So when they did Aqualung, the album before this one, it was referred to as a concept album. And he's like, no, it wasn't a concept album. We just threw some songs together, and there might have been some sort of like, but he actually says it was. So what they did here is they said, we will do a concept. We're going to do one. So they're doing but as a joke. So they did one, but it's a, I would say it's a joke, but it's a joke. So they created a concept, and this news article is about this boy here, and it's not a real person. In fact, people didn't even know this when the album came out. They thought this little boy was an actual person. I forget his name. Anyways, so that's his name. Sorry, it's a fiction. It's a fictional 8-year-old genius named Gerald Bostock. And so I think we're led to believe that Gerald is the writer of the lyrics, so to speak, too. So even in the lyrics, I think on the original LP, it showed Gerald's name. So people thought Gerald was a real person writing the lyrics or whatever. So long story short, he's an 8-year-old genius. He doesn't exist. It's not a real person. It's all a made up story. And they went ahead and made a concept album as a joke, but it is a concept album. And it's also their most progressive album. This is also where Jethro Tull kind of got labeled as a early prog band. But they were actually making fun of the early prog bands, like Yes, the band Yes that we've reacted to.
We've reacted to that.
And the other guys, Laker, Palmer, I forget their names. So Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. So those are prog bands at the time. So they were actually spoofing or satirizing. Parody. So this is a parody. So this is like actually a
1970 Weird Al.
Yeah, but unlike Weird, but they're not covering anything. They're creating their own original music, of course. But this is but it is a concept album. It is progressive, like yes. So it's kind of, but they're kind of taking the mick out of it, so to speak. So, anyways, there you go. That's the background. let's see what this boy is. What his life's about. I don't know. So
Okay.
it's yeah.
I like.
Sorry. When they went to the studio, they didn't think they were going to do one big long song originally. They actually were writing in the studio as they went. So my understanding is too, there will be natural kind of breaks between songs, even though it's one big song.
Uh-huh.
They actually recorded separate songs, but they kind of created like musical
like blends,
like connections to connect. So if we find during this, because we advertise that we don't stop the song, well, we're going to stop. We're not going to just listen for 20 minutes and say, oh, I like that song. Yeah. So let's try to find the natural, like it sounds like they're changing the song, and then we'll just talk about what we heard, where it seems like a natural stoppage. But we're going to be guessing. We don't know. So bear with us as we try to figure that out.
Okay. All right. That explained it well. I don't think I have anything to add to that.
No, I don't think you would. All right, let's go. Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know why it makes me laugh, but it does.
Really don't mind if you sit this one out.
The flute.
Words but a whisper, your deafness a shout. I may make you feel, but I can't make you think. Your sperm's in the gutter, your love's in the sink.
Did he laugh there?
Yeah, he laughed. Yeah.
So you ride yourself over the fields, and you make all your animal deals, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. And the sandcastle virtues are all swept away in the tidal destruction, the moral malay. The elastic retreat rings the close of play as the last wave uncovers the newfangled way. But your new shoes are worn at the heels, and your suntans rapidly feel, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. And the love that I feel is so far away. I'm a bad dream that I just had today. And you shake your head and said it's a shame.
It's extremely clear.
Spin me back down the years and the days of my youth. Draw the lace and black curtains and shut out the whole truth. Spin me down the long ages, let them sing the song.
pause it.
Okay.
All right. Well,
you froze up there in the middle, just to be clear.
I heard the whole thing. You froze up too, but it's okay. It's okay. As long as our audience hears everything, because you're the one broadcasting, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So you can definitely hear that. Yeah, the progressive sound here.
Mm-hmm.
The what do you call it? We've listened to, I'd say a lot, but we've listened to enough prog music now on our channel to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, though they're satirizing prog, like they're doing it very well. Like they're
yeah. It was really good. It was like when it started to pick up, I was like, "Oh, this is great. This is actually something I'd listen to regularly." Yeah.
And so I wonder, how should I say this without offending our prog fans of our channel or who are listening to this album? Because I kind of like that as satire. And another side note, these guys are big Monty Python fans. Of course, Monty Python is very big in worldwide, but especially in Europe. I think they're from England, I think. I'm not sure. I think they're from England. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so they're definitely a European band. And they're huge Monty Python fans. So a lot of these lyrics are kind of humorous. Like he's talking about the kid, with blackheads on his shoulders. He pees himself at night. Like these aren't serious kind of lyrics, but it's a very serious concept album, if that makes sense. So they're doing a very good job of, I would say, throwing together a concept or even a prog album, but they're nailing it. They're nailing the prog sound, and it's almost like, well, how hard is it then to be prog? If you get Jethro Tull, who's just like a folksy rock band, saying, "Yeah, we'll do prog," does that make sense?
What this makes me think is, I said at the beginning, so they're like a '70s Weird Al, and I'm wrong. But what they are more like is like Tenacious D.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Tenacious D is very talented, but they kind of make fun of the genre of metal or whatever.
Yeah, and they do that by like deadpanning serious, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean we're goofy? We're serious about this.
Yeah. So I don't know if the general public at the time in 1972 knew that they were attempting satire.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if they advertised that, but they have since then. But anyway, so this is great. But I'm having fun. This is a fun. It's a great sound too. Great quality sound.
It's extremely like high quality. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I wonder if the flute was this, like, let's just go over the top, you know what I mean? And add a flute to it.
Shadows on the water as the sun plays on the infantry returning from the sea. The doer and the thinker, no allowance for the other, as the failing light illuminates the mercenaries' creed. A home fire burning, the kettle almost boiling, but the master of the house is far away. Standing, their warm breath clouding in the sharp and frosty morning of the day. And the poet lifts his pen while the soldier sheets his sword.
that beat.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah. The bass line's moving fast too.
Okay, pause it.
Okay.
So just because I've been getting some corrections in YouTube on the live chat, thank you guys. I apologize if I spoke too much about the prog sound, more the concept album is what I should clarify. So now again, I don't know anything about this band. I'm just reading what is quoted and cited on Wikipedia. It says here that Jethro Tull's frontman and songwriter Ian Anderson was surprised when critics called the band's previous album Aqualung a concept album, and he rejected this, thinking it was simply a collection of songs. So in response, he decided to come up with something that really, in quote, come up with something that really is the mother of all concept albums. So he also intended to satirize, this was according to him, to satirize the prog rock genre that was popular at the time.
Oh.
And there are sites for these comments. So now I guess they've always kind of been seen as prog. Maybe they weren't as prog before Thick as a Brick, but maybe they embraced it after. I don't know. I'm getting comments in the live chat that they've always been considered that, but this Ian Anderson doesn't feel that way. Or at the very least, he's maybe making fun of their own prog sound, because I guess prog rock was very popular at the time, the early 70s. But he intended on satirizing that sound. That's according to the sources I'm getting here, but I could be wrong. So I might be up in the air. Let us know in the comments below.
I mean, it's one thing to say they satirized it, but they also embraced it at the same time and sort of became,
right.
You know what I mean? So
sure,
whether they,
who knows?
It's not like they were like this like hard rock band that was like, hey, let's like satirize a little bit of prog.
Right.
It's more like, no, we're prog, and we kind of satirize some of the things that prog does, but we still embrace it and love it. Like I would say, Tenacious D does with metal. Yeah. Right.
They love it. Maybe they love doing it. Maybe, but I'm getting the feeling this is. I would, if I was to hedge my bets, this is probably the most prog they have been completely at this point. The whole idea that it's a concept album, because I think prog bands in general, they seem to be very fixated on the concept album. You know, that idea. Yeah, like I know Yes did that, where it's like the whole album's one track, or it's like one big song. And here we get these lyrics of this like journey. You know, this it's so like every time I read concept album lyrics, I'm always like, they don't read like a book. It's still kind of like I don't know what's going on. It's always like it's always the initial reading. You're like, what is happening here?
It's a lot more artistic and poetic.
Yeah,
and I get it.
Yeah. And so they seem to be embracing that right here. I don't know. I could be wrong, but here it's fun. It's fun though. At the end of the day, it's fun music. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's good sound.
The cattle quietly grazing at the grass down by the river, where the swelling mountain water moves onward to the sea. The builder of the castles renews the age-old purpose and contemplates the milking girl whose offer is his need. The young men of the household have all gone into service,
Oh, I love that.
The keyboards were so necessary for prog.
Oh yeah. I'm so curious about the flute though. Like, are they the first to really make it a mainstream instrument in rock?
The flute? Probably. To make it as big as it is, probably.
Yeah.
I've come down from the upper class to mend your rotten ways. My father was a man of power of everyone obeyed. So come on, all you criminals, I've got to put you straight. Just like I did with my old man 20 years too late.
Oh, it's almost like East Coast. This is a little like East Coast.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's some pretty amazing stuff going on right there. There's a lot happening. There's
What I
a
was-
lot. Yeah,
I was
what
just
were you
gonna
saying about
say-
the East Coast?
Well, there was a sound there that sounded a bit. Sorry, we're Canadian. So
Yeah.
when we talk about East Coast sound, we're
Yeah.
referring to like Nova Scotia, Newfoundland. The kind of like almost Irish sounding. Sometimes they throw an accordion, a fiddle, and that sort of a sound to it. Great Big
What's that
C-
called again, though?
Great Big
Yeah,
C
what's
is
that-
one that. Yeah.
It's like that. I want to say Irish or Scottish or that Welsh. All those mixed
It's like
jaunts.
is it shanties or like
Yeah.
like sea shanties and kind of like
Yeah.
the dar da dar da dar da dar like
Hard
Yeah,
here.
that-
Hard here.
we're awful. We're so bad. But it had a bit of that kind of like playful sound to it, and it just made me think like, oh, these guys would be hilarious to watch on stage.
Oh, I love. Yeah, I think
know?
I think that's what they're known for. Like I said, I've seen a few of their live performances, just a couple songs on my other channel, and they're fun to watch live. And it's fun to watch him kill the flute, man. He's just. And I've always said the flute has got to be the most stressful instrument to play live because
Oh.
you there's no in between. You
Oh
can't.
my goodness. I'm
know.
yeah. I can't imagine. Just on a side note, I'm learning to play the bagpipes, and like that's not. There's nothing easy about learning to play the bagpipes.
Yeah.
But the flute, I just look at and like just doesn't make any sense to me.
I
There's
love
like there's so much to like think of, and
Oh.
you just have to be a master of it to be able to play it well.
Have you ever tried to play a flute?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just like
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't get. It's the angle. You have to get the angle
Yeah.
of the wind in.
you have to like just know. You have to like it's you pick it up and you just
And
know every time. Yeah.
And I love how he hits that it's that crisp, like the way he hits the.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's that clip.
His breathing of the way he breaths the sounds, like he.
Yeah. I will say, Nathan, this is crazy. So Ian Anderson, during the recording of this album, this is just always blows my mind. This is already whatever album for them, like I don't know, 5th album or something. Okay. He's 25 here.
Oh, okay.
Like, 25.
Yeah,
I just
top of his game. Yeah,
yeah. It's so, and he sounds great. I love the vocal sound. He great vocals in the studio. Anyways, yeah. Well, this is we have to stop to talk about it. We can't just play it for 20 minutes and not say anything. So
yeah.
Anyways,
all right, here we go.
Pause again. Okay. I wanted to say I'm visualizing, like, as much as I can understand, I'm following the story because I'm having a hard time following what's really going on. Like, but I just try to just take each paragraph as its own little whatever journey. But with the music though, so what I like about this part, I'm just picturing this guy walking down the street with his elbows out, like it's just, this guy just seems to be doing that right now. It's like some sort of Disney film, I can just.
Yeah,
I just picture like
I can see it. Your bread and water's going cold. Your hair is short and neat. Yeah,
I can just see him just like. But anyways, I don't know why I visualize it.
Can you hear that Eastern flavor? What I'm talking about? Like it does seem to feel like it's got a touch of that. Yeah.
Well, he's from, speaking of bagpipes, he was born in Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Before people add us in the comments, so we'll know in the comments on YouTube if someone. Mentions, just so you know, he was born in Scotland. Well, they didn't get to this point in the video. All right, keep going. Oh, I like that. Love that acoustic.
Yeah. Kind of a new song here now.
Yeah.
You curl your toes in fun as you smile at everyone. You meet the stares, you're unaware that your doings aren't done. And you laugh most ruthlessly as you tell us what not to be. But how are we supposed to see where we should run?
Piano.
Oh, piano.
Yeah. Xylophone. Wow.
I see you shuffle in the courtroom with your rings upon your fingers and your downy little sideys and your silver butter shoes. Playing at the
Borderline
heartbeats,
synthesizer.
you follow the example of the
not.
comic paper idol who lets you bend the rules.
I love that sound.
pause it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it's borderline synthesizer, but it's not. Like it's almost like they like stumbled into this combo of piano, organ sound. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great sound. This is a great end to the first side. If this is the last song, I don't know if this is the last song, but I love it started with that acoustic guitar that came in, really nice. And I've always said I love the 70s recordings, man. There's something about 70s studio recordings that just have this sound that you can't replicate anymore.
Yeah. I want to just back up just a hair because I want to kind of listen to that in its entirety, if that's okay.
Sure. Well, of course. It's our channel. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Okay, let's go.
Comic paper idol who lets you bend the rules.
I love it.
Got a great bass line.
Your super crooks and show us all the way. Well, make your will and testament. I want you to join your local government. We'll have Superman for president. Let Robin save the day.
This is great.
You put your bet on number one and it comes off every time. The other kids have fall back down and they put you first in line. Just how big you are, and you take your place in a wider world of bigger moon than cars. Now you want to
Yeah, it's almost like they stumbled on that riff and was like, "Oh, we got something here." Yeah,
very possible.
Yeah.
sportsman who always pull you through. That all resting down and calling Welp, writing up the memoirs, not a paperback edition of the Boy Scout manual.
Long outro then.
That's cool. That's a very interesting outro. Yeah, I like that. Oh. Wow.
There's still
Part 1.
30 seconds left. Oh, it's windy.
Oh. Setting up for the second part, you flip the LP over, right?
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on part 1 before we roll into part 2, Nathan?
Just that was an amazing song. Like that was that. Well, let's put it this way. I wasn't sure what we were getting into when you told me we were doing Jethro Tull. All I knew is every time I said Jethro Tull, you laughed. So
I don't something about it because the band's name. This guy plays the flute. I see them on. There's something funny, not in a haha laughing at them. I guess maybe it's a joy.
Yeah,
there's something joyous about the way they sound and perform. And
right.
Yeah.
And you said they were prog, and I was kind of like, okay, that's what I was anticipating. But I wasn't anticipating, like, there's some sounds in there that I would say there's got to be some influence there on even pop music of the 80s and 90s. Like, hearing some of those particular sounds.
Yes.
Oh, am I right?
Yeah, well, yes, I think so.
Okay.
REO Speedwagon. The guy, when Ian was singing like this, Rolling with the Changes. That's the song from REO Speedwagon. Now, I don't know it very well. I don't know when it was released, but this had to come out. Thick as a Brick had to have come out before REO Speedwagon's song.
Okay.
And if you hear the way Ian's singing here, the way he's doing that last part of that song, the singer from REO must have copied it because it sounds just like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I could be wrong. People can add me in the comments. No, that song came out in 1969. No, I think it was later than 72. I'm pretty certain. But anyways, definitely influenced somebody, I'm sure.
Because what they did, they took that little riff that they were playing on the organ, and I mean, they weren't doing it in the 70s, but certainly by the 80s and especially 90s and later, they would just loop those sounds, right? They would loop that little riff through a looper, whatever, a loop pedal or something like that. And then that just kind of like keeps it going, and then you play on with it. It's almost like it reminded me of electronica music. I don't know why it did, but of good electronic music, like not like garbage, but like, yeah, I was not expecting something that kind of cool. Yeah.
No, agree. That's awesome. All right, well, here we go. We forgot to say, I think, did we mention this is a
oh, that's Murdoch's request. Sorry, Murdoch.
He's like Murdoch.
He's just like waiting, like, oh, are they going to say it? Oh, no, they didn't say it that time. Okay, maybe next time. Oh, no, not yet. Okay.
So, Murdoch, this is a Patreon request. If you want us to react to a song or an album, join our Patreon or look at the Patreon prices and give us the PayPal equivalent. We're happy to do it. That's why we're doing this. Like, we're not doing this out of the kindness of our hearts, even though we're having a great time.
Yeah. What we love, what we love is when people kind of go, oh, I think they're going to like this.
Yes,
right.
Yes, agreed.
I think we like that a whole lot more than people going like, listen to this because I like it. It's more like, oh, I think they'll like this. Yeah, and so this is great. You nailed it again, Murdoch.
Yeah, Murdoch's just nailing his request. So thank you so much, Murdoch, for this Patreon request. And like Nathan says, when people see our channel and kind of get a cut of our jib and what we're looking for, we never say what we're looking for, but they just hear our reactions to other stuff. Like, oh, I think they might enjoy this. And so far, at least part 1, we like. Maybe part 2's garbage. I don't know, but we love part 1. So let's check it out, Nate. Here we go. Okay. Thanks, Murdoch. Cool sound.
But
ground running in the first song.
Yeah. Let's talk about that drumming. This was actually one of our criticisms on the Yes reaction that we did when we saw the live performance. It felt like, at least that performance that we watched, it seemed like each member of the band was trying to show off, and I wonder if that's what they're satirizing here. I wonder.
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, what's he doing in the middle of our song? He just like broke out a drum solo,
and the first 2 minutes of the song. Yeah.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but if we are to believe what we're reading, that this is a kind of a satire approach to the prog popularity at the time, I'm guessing that's what they did. Was in the middle of like 2 minutes into the song, it's like, hey guy, why don't you just break out a drum solo? Like, are you even part of this show? Like, he just starts the drum. Anyways, well, if that's what they did here, because now remember, they patterned this album after Monty Python, and so this would have been a very Monty Python thing to do, in a sense of like, out of the blue, the drummer just goes off the track and starts doing a drum solo. That's how I took it. I could be wrong.
Okay, I wonder if that's also where the flute comes from, because I feel like when you say Jethro Tull, I imagine flute. Like when you told me Jethro Tull, I feel like I've seen like Saturday Night Live or somewhere where people like parody Jethro Tull, and they like pick up something and pretend they're like playing a flute really fast, like like Jethro Tull, and to me that's some of the gag, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's my guess, and I could be wrong. But again, what makes it a genius is that it's great drumming. Like it is well done. It sounds like. So, anyways, I'm loving this. All right, continue.
Okay. All right.
They're all trying to look like.
Yeah.
You done?
Jazz player, the drummer.
Oh, nice. Great acoustic sound.
Oh yeah.
In the clear white sands of morning wonder, I take my place with the Lord of the Hills, and the blue-eyed soldiers stand slightly discolored in neat little rows sporting canvas frills.
Oh, nice.
12-string.
With the jock straps pinching, they slouch to attention whilst queuing for sardies at the office canteen, singing how's your granny and the good old Ernie copped up a tenner on a premium on wing.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Harpsichord, yeah.
I love it.
Here for a sec.
Yeah, of course.
So, just a thought that has come as I've been listening to this side. Their sound is so unique, and this is why, like, I mean, like they're a prog band. I absolutely, I'm convinced that this is prog. At the same time, and this is going to offend some prog lovers. So I apologize. I'm not trying to offend them. But some prog, and I'm not going to mention which prog, it's boring. Like I'm not trying to put it down, but it's not that interesting. So
totally, yeah.
It's experimental. It's artistic. It like explores certain things, and I get that. That's we've listened to it sometimes, and I find myself having to like kind of lean in and go, am I enjoying this? I'm not sure. I'm totally enjoying this. And what it's making me think about is a band that we listen to today. So this is a band that we have been introduced to that we quite enjoy, that does something very similar, just in a more modern way. King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. They are exploring different genres, but they're choosing great sounds to do that. They're not just going like, let's just like explore something super artistic and see where it sounds, and like alienating their entire audience, but doing it for the sake of art. This feels a little bit more like they're going like, let's play stuff that we like hearing, and we're exploring these genres in a kind of tongue-in-cheek way, but with good music, instead of like this like eclectic, small, narrow audience that follows us because we're true to our sound. That's just what it makes me think of. Yeah, does that make sense?
I was listening. I had you on mute the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Did you say something? No, it does make sense, and I totally agree. And I think what we're seeing here is, again, if this is according to Ian Anderson, this is a bit of a satire approach, both to the concept album and I'm seeing it because I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, because I read these lyrics and I'm like, it sounds really important. Like, do you believe in the day? Do you believe in the day? The dawn creation of the kings has begun. Soft Venus, lonely maiden brings the angels. Like, come on, what in the hell are we talking about? Like, it makes no sense. And I assume this is satire, right? It doesn't make sense. Like, what are we talking about? The word you're looking for is pretentious. A lot of prog bands are pretentious. They just think they're so freaking amazing because they can play complex beats. And it's like, yeah, you might be a great painter, but if your painting is not accessible, if I don't know what the hell's going on, or if it's just a bunch of like noise, so to speak, it's like, okay, great, you're good at what you do, but it's boring. And this isn't boring. It sounds great. It's fun to listen to. I'm smiling. I like it. Here's the other thing, and this is the trick they pulled, Nate, is that they only said it's one song, again, to show the pretentiousness of like, we'll just do one song that's 45 minutes long. But it's not. We know that, but you can hear, and that's why you're not leaning in. That's why you're not having to push through this mess. It's because it's not, meaning like it's not one song. It's because they're breaking it down. It's a song after another song. There are different songs, but that's the idea. It's like you're listening to one song that it constantly changes. That's prog. I'm sorry, prog is just like, we're doing this beat now. Now we're changing to this beat now, and now we're doing this beat now. It's just I have a hard time tapping my feet to prog, and that's why I'm not a big fan of it, because it's like, we get it, you're special, but it is boring sometimes. It's like it's like watching a math whiz. I get it, you're smart. But I don't want you to watch you do formulas all day. That doesn't excite me. But I understand you're good. I get you're good at what you do, but it's not. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. No.
All right. Let's keep going.
I like this. I really do.
Yeah.
Has begun.
Like how this is going to build up.
Yeah. The electric guitars.
Okay, pause it for it. So I'm getting called out on the YouTube channel, which is fine. It's fine. we can live react.
I knew you couldn't let it go.
Well, I don't know who this guy is. He's like, same as always. Short hair dislikes prog. Long hair likes prog. So you're long hair and I'm short hair. So that's Ryan. My name Ryan. His name Nathan.
Asshat, long hair.
Asshat, long hair, short hair, corn dog. It's not that I don't I don't dislike prog any more than I dislike, I don't know, bran muffins. To me, it's just like, here's the thing about people that are big on prog, and I find that it's not this guy, I'm not saying it's him, but I find that when I get criticized for not liking prog the way someone, or any kind of music, it's like, it's okay that you do like it. I've never insulted the person that's like prog. You know what I mean? I've never said fans that like prog are idiots, or fans that like, no, I hope that's not what this guy's doing, or insinuating that I'm somehow whatever, because I don't get prog. I'm just saying we all react differently to whatever sounds, and prog to me, it's complicated. It's, again, I get it that you're good at your freaking instruments. Like, no one is denying the fact that you have talent. I'll say it 100 times, but just because you have talent doesn't mean the whole universe can't like the same thing. It's never happened. It'll never happen for whatever kind of music you like. So I just don't know why some people get very and if I'm being redundant, I don't mean to be. So this guy's obviously listened to our channel before, so we thank you for listening to our channel. Don't get me wrong, but this is just for anyone who's about to comment. It's not that I don't like prog. It's just that sometimes it can be a little bit long in the tooth. That's all. Maybe if they were tighter about it, maybe shorter songs. I think that's why I like this album, is even though it's one song, we're getting different songs, and that's what I like about it. It's like we're fast. Okay, here's this sound. Here's this. I don't know. I'm enjoying this much better than anything else I've heard from a prog sound. That's just me. Again, that's just me. I could be totally off my rocker.
And I'm on the same page as you. Like I don't think I like prog any more or less than you do. I think if anything, you're the one that introduced it to me, and I'm still reluctant to jump in. But this would be the way in for me. Is if there was more prog like this, I'd be like, okay, like I could listen to this more. And
I think it's the flute.
It's the flute.
The flute is the peacemaker.
Sound of the flute. Yeah.
It's the peacemaker. it's bridging the gap. It's bridging the gap of a non-prog to prog listeners. Anyways, and I say this old dude, and we love that everyone's listening. We love that people are listening to our channel. So thank you to those. And it's okay to disagree. Don't get me wrong. So I'm making sure that we're not. I don't think this guy was doing that. Just, again, it's not the fans of anything. Yeah. It's just yeah. We all can't like everything, or else there wouldn't be reaction channels. If we all liked everything the same, there wouldn't be these channels.
He's telling Jesus on us, so
I know. Well, trust me. I wish this was the worst thing in my life. I wish. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, it
Thanks,
is.
Dave.
Okay.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
I love those fast progressions.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the tale of your life, of your love and the cut of the knife, the tireless oppression
horse. Horse gallop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just going on that flute.
It's the flute.
No cowbell there.
That's fast.
No. I don't know if it's playing that fast. I think it's a modulation effect.
Pause it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's the flute. Isn't that the flute though?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a modulation effect on I think the organs or keyboards.
Okay.
Yeah, it just modulation effects just basically like are timed to kind of go da 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 da, you know, at a specific interval, so that it just it's hard to explain. But it's an electronic effect. It's an early electronic effect, obviously, because this is what 72.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. I have no idea. Yeah. You know more than I would. Yeah. Great. It sounds great.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's that's why I'm picking up on the kind of electronica sound here, because it's like, hey, these are like the roots of really good electronic music, you know? Yeah.
For sure. That's awesome.
Let me help you to pick up your dead, as the sins of the fathers are fed with the blood of the fools and the thoughts of the wise, and from the pen under your bed. Well, let me make you a present of song, as the wise man breaks wind and is gone, while the fool with the hourglass is cooking his goose and the nursery rhyme winds along.
final part.
Yeah.
Final.
So come on, you childhood heroes, won't you rise up from the pages of your comic books, your super crooks, and show us all the way. Well, make your will and testament, won't you join your local government? We'll have Superman for president, let Robin save the day. So where the hell was Biggles when you needed him last Saturday? And where are all the sportsmen who always pulled you through? They're all resting down in Cornwall, writing up their memoirs for a paperback edition of the Boy Scout Manual.
Oh, wow.
Wow, what a finish.
Yeah.
So you ride yourselves over the fields and you make all your animal
That's nice.
feels, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick.
It's laughing.
Wow. Yeah, he did chuckle at the end there. He chuckled at the beginning too.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's just give our
Yes.
what a like truly what a crazy masterpiece of this album was. Truly, this was a journey. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't
It's hard to really like we've talked about it throughout and had kind
course.
of little insights here and there. So we've kind of hit some of the high notes, but as you said, it is a masterpiece. It's like, yeah, it's the kind of thing that I imagine, living in the 70s, listening to multiple times and just kind of like, oh, this next part's coming. I can't wait for this part, and like anticipating the parts where it's moving fast. And I can just imagine kind of living through that. I know that there's some insights and I appreciate some of the insights people have given us on YouTube here. And it's a fair point. We didn't live through this time. We don't know what it's like to live in England and to be, a lot of the context of the lyrics are lost on us, but certainly the sound isn't. So the sound of this album is something that I like, having listened to it again, listened to it this time here. I feel like this is something that I'll probably end up listening to multiple times as well. So I love it.
Yeah, I totally do agree. Murdoch, this was an amazing pick. Thank you so much for, like Nathan, I chuckled when Murdoch said it's his Patreon request. Like, no, a whole album, Jethro Tull, a whole album. And we've done some, I won't say which albums are requested in the past, but we've done some where we're always trying to stay positive. We have our criticisms, or we have our, like, we're not too great or too sure about this or that. That's fair. We can do that. But this was not a we never lie. I'm just saying we always try to find the positive. This was a very easy exercise for us to do this, to go through this journey. I still don't know what the hell they're talking about in the songs, but I loved it. I loved the sound. Ian's vocals were amazing. He sounds great. He sounds cool. You know, I love the flute playing. Everything about this was just the acoustic, and then I love that orchestra flourish at the end too. That surprised me. It sounded nice, and this is a big production.
Yeah, it has a lot of sound. I think that's what I'm mostly surprised is like the variety of sound. I was anticipating more like a guitarist and maybe a keyboardist, obviously a flute and some drums. Like that's the most I kind of thought. I didn't know how expansive it was. So yeah, it's very cool.
So thanks to everyone that joined us live on YouTube. Very cool. We got a bit of an audience. So thanks. Jethro Tull has their fan base. So thanks to those Jethro Tull fans who've come to our channel for the first time, maybe because they saw that we're actually reacting to the whole album. Hope we did it some justice. We understand that this is the first time listen. Just like anything, when you hear it for the first time, you can't. It takes time to grow. Everything. So people have had decades to know this album. This is our first time hearing it. So please be kind to us in the comments that we don't get everything right away. But we loved it. So you can't get mad at us for that. We enjoyed it. It.
Yeah. Yeah, and appreciate the comments that have been posted here for us. It was a lot of fun to listen to. Thank you.
Check us out on Discord. It's free for everyone. You can react with us or talk to us live when we do this. And in between videos, too, we talk to our listeners of our channel. I hate to say fans. Nobody's a fan of us, but just people that want to hang out. We have a lot of great listeners in our Discord. And then hit us up on Patreon or PayPal if you want us to react to a song or album. We'd love to do that for you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And we do have a lot of content, so check out some of our other content as well. It's we have over almost 600 videos now, so yeah, there you go.
Our wives hate us. All right, Nathan, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, see you in the next one.